Today we're going to be talking about how you're going to make $100 million with this YouTube ad campaign structure. Okay, wait. Let me run that back, okay? If you hear somebody say that you can make, hey, $100 million with this campaign, listen, that's clickbait. That's not what this is about. But it is not impossible to make $100 million with YouTube ads. We've actually helped other companies make 6 to 7 figures with YouTube ads. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, today we're gonna be talking about YouTube ad structures, but in a practical way, okay? We're gonna give you practical tips and nuggets on how to structure your YouTube ads campaigns to maximize results. Yes, we have helped clients reach 5, 6, 7 figures with YouTube ads with specific structures. So we're gonna talk about those so you can apply it to your own campaigns. But again, let's get away from the whole guru thing. That's something that we're tired of as well, right? We wanna give you guys clear-cut information that has been compiled through years of experience running YouTube ads for different clients, different niches, right? So let's get right into it. Okay, so we're gonna share some of our best practices that have brought in results from clients that have gone from spending $100 a day to spending $1,000 a day, other accounts that are spending $20,000 a day profitably with YouTube ads. So if that sounds like it's something you're interested in learning and applying to your own offers or even your client offers, then keep watching this video. And I'll take this opportunity to remind you to like, comment, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, turn on your notifications so we can notify you once we drop some more video marketing, YouTube ads, media buying tips your way. Okay, so let's answer the question. What is the best YouTube ad structure in 2024? Okay, here's the answer. Are you ready? We're gonna do the drum roll. There is no wrong or right answer for this, but there are practical steps and practical structures that you can follow to get the results that you desire. Okay, so when we talk about YouTube ads, media buying campaign structure, you're gonna see a lot of mixed advice, right? A lot of philosophies around how to structure your campaigns, right? How many ads to test at a time, how many audiences you should include in your campaign. You wanna test something that's simple, something that is very clear cut for you to know how to optimize, right? How to read the data in such a way that it just makes it black and white, okay? That it's unambiguous what's working and what's not. That's the bottom line. You don't need to overcomplicate your YouTube ad campaign structure by adding so many layers, right? I see so many media buyers in the past and even nowadays just adding too many layers. Like they combine so many audiences, so many segments and different demographics per ad group. So there's so much going on. We like to call that spaghetti testing, right? Which we're gonna talk about that in a second. But right now, we're gonna be talking about different campaign structure, a different way of doing things that simplifies your media buying. Whether it's you that doing the media buying or you have hired a media buyer, it's in your team, somebody in your team that's doing this, this is gonna help you have clarity on where to go, right? And how to structure out a campaign that is just very easy to look at, very easy to set up and actually duplicate. As we know, we have the capabilities of duplicating campaigns within the platform itself or within Google Ads Editor, which we do have videos on, and you can actually click the link up there if you're wanting to know how to use Google Ads Editor for bulk changes, and making all these campaign launches all in one place.
Hey, really quickly, I just wanted to let you know about our agency's services where we've helped business owners get results like these. Whether you want our team of experts to manage all of your ads or just make video ads for you, or even just teach you how to run ads yourself, you can go down to the description of this video to book a intro call to learn more. Now back to the video.
All right, so let's start with one of the most common questions, and it's regarding ads. How many ads should I add in my campaign? This can depend on various scenarios, okay? Number one is how many ads you have and your budget, okay? If you have 10 ads to test, okay, and you have a $500 a day budget, that's gonna look a little bit different than if you only have maybe 2 ads to test and a $50 a day budget. It's different scenarios, different needs, and you need to kind of massage those needs with your objectives. So we're gonna take these scenarios. If you have a higher budget and a lower budget, we're gonna do the example of how you should structure your campaigns or how we would structure our campaigns. Most of our clients do have a decent amount of budget to test, at least $300 a day to get initial data. As we know with YouTube ads, the more data that you can gather during that testing phase, the better, right? So we usually require like at least $300, $400, even up to $500 a day in testing budget. But we're gonna talk about both in a second. Let's talk about the lower budget first, okay? To do an example that you have $50 a day budget, okay? And you have 2 to 4 ads to test. Now, with a $50 a day budget, it's a very low amount if you wanna test on YouTube. It's not impossible, you can definitely do it. Just know that it's gonna take a while before you actually see some data, some true data that can help you make data-driven decisions to improve your offer and make things profitable, right? So depending on the niche that you're in, this may or may not work for you, right? So if you're doing an e-com product that sells for $30, $40, but you have a $50 a day campaign, like you can't really test a lot, right? So let me just explain this for you. Let me break it down, okay? $50 a day budget, 2 to 4 ads. The way that I would do it is maybe test 2 campaigns, 2 different audiences, okay, which we're gonna talk about in a second. And then in that campaign, you'll have 2 ads, right? So you just kind of put 2 ads in each campaign. That's how we do it. Each campaign worth $25 a day. And that would be like an initial structure. If you have $250 a day as a testing budget and you need to find some early wins in terms of creative, as you know, with YouTube ads, creative is king. And we've said this before. The main goal for you is to find something that works, right? Obviously, keep it in mind after you've proven your funnel with other platforms, after you know that you have a great offer and you have great creative, but you need to find out which creative is converting well for you, right? Which one's giving you great front-end metrics, such as the cost per click, click-through rate, all that good stuff, okay? So again, using this example of, let's say you have $250 a day or more in testing budget, finding some early wins, the ideal thing would be to test the same 2 to 4 ads, and you want to test it against 5 or 6 audiences, right? So that'll give you kind of like a $50 a day campaign. $50 a day, you'll have some data fast for you to understand, okay, this ad is working well across, these 3 audiences or these 5 audiences, right? After a week period, after 7 days of you running ads, you're gonna have clarity, you're gonna have some data back that'll tell you what's working, what's not working. Again, that's at $250 a day. It could be more than that, but we recommend doing the 2 ads. Now, there are other people that can, say, I have 4 ads, I just want to put all the 4 in there. You're more than welcome to do that, okay? We've done that before as well, and just kind of let the ads nuke it out. As we know, the algorithm, when we have campaigns set as max conversions, target CPA, the algorithm will do its job and basically show the ad that has a higher chance of converting, right? And one thing that you'll start noticing is that one of the ads is getting most of the impression share than the others, right? And usually if that happens in one campaign, it'll happen in another campaign, right? It'll kind of, let's say, filter out the best ad, or rotate that best ad, if you will, right? So that is one way to go about it when it comes to your ads. But the ideal thing is, how do you know your ad is working? You need to know your KPIs, right? Your key performance indicators, your numbers, and see which ad is actually meeting those KPIs. Are you getting leads for X amount of cost? Are you getting booked calls for X amount of cost? Are the CPC is decent? You have high click-through rate. Maybe out of the 4 ads, one of them is giving you 2% click-through rate, all the other ones are 1% or less, right? So those are decisions that you'll need to make after, again, you're reading the data. Maybe after 3 days, 4 days, you're reading the data and so on, okay? So that is what we do when it comes to the creative portion, right? The ads portion. Now, if you have a bigger budget, right, of $500, $1,000, $2,000 or more, but you're already at that scaling point, then you have room to test a little more, right? Maybe you can do 20 campaigns, okay, at $50 a day, or do 10 campaigns at $50 a day, and it would be kind of the same scenario. You want to test between 2 to 4 ads at a time, and once you start seeing the data, you can retest the winning ads, right? Let's say you have a winning ad that's working well across different audiences. You continue to scale that ad, right? You push budget on those campaigns that are working for you. And now we're just getting into the optimization piece, but this is a clear structure, right? It's a very simple structure. And we're gonna talk about the ad group next, okay? This segues into how you should set up your ad groups and audiences, okay? Now, I've seen a lot of media buyers out there do the spaghetti testing. So I remember I mentioned this at the beginning, right? Just throw spaghetti on the wall. Okay, so the spaghetti testing, basically, we look at it this way. You're bunching up a lot of things, right? You're testing a lot of things at a time in one campaign with the hopes that it's just gonna work, right? And a lot of media buyers will do 5 ad groups, right? Each ad group has 25, 50 custom intent keywords, right? Custom intent audiences, custom affinity URLs. So it's like a mixture, it's a bunch of things. That is what we call spaghetti testing, right? I have taken on some consultations, some other accounts where, they have a little bit of a mess, but that little bit of a mess is actually moving the needle for them, for however it is, right? The problem is when they go to scale, they don't know what's working, right? They'll scale the campaign, but the thing is that it's a matter of time before things die out, right? There's ad saturation, audience saturation, ad fatigue, and you don't know what actually worked for you to maybe try that specific audience next time with a different ad, okay? So you have to paint this picture of simplicity, okay? When it comes to reading your data within your YouTube ad campaign structure, right? If you have one campaign to this funnel, let's say funnel A, right? Because I know there's a lot of you guys maybe testing different funnels, different headline ideas, things like that. But let's say funnel A, okay, we have a campaign, funnel A. So that's why the naming convention is key here as well, guys, okay? We have our own naming convention. We have the date, we can actually share that with you guys. Just leave a comment below and we'll go ahead and send it your way so you can maybe emulate this naming convention, but it keeps it very organized, right? It's not just like, oh, video campaign number one, right? Like that's not gonna help anybody, especially if you're delegating media buying work or if you have client accounts. You wanna keep things organized, and trust me, it helps big time, okay? So let's go back. When it comes to the campaign structure, you want to do one campaign, let's say to funnel A, you do one audience, okay? One specific segment that you wanna test. Maybe it's a custom segment and it's a custom intent, Amazon FBA courses, right? We've used that example before. Or, if you're selling e-com like travel kits or something like that, right? So custom intent travel kits, that's it. That's where your focus is. That's your theme. Your keywords within the custom intent, they're relevant to that theme, okay? Travel kits online, right? Where to buy travel kits, you know what I mean? Travel kit pricing, things that are relevant to that. And that is one audience that is being added to one ad group, okay? We're not adding to multiple ad groups. Again, we'll talk about different structures in a second here that kind of fit that spaghetti category, that spaghetti testing type of category. And then what I'm doing right now is giving you our roadmap, our little blueprint of how we're simplifying things so you can simplify things in your testing and you know what to scale, right? Like it's just unambiguous. You know that, okay, we have campaign A with custom intent travel kits, okay? With 2 ads, let's say that, ad V1, V2, whatever. It's very clear. And then you have the ad group, and within the ad group, you have that audience, okay? The ad group, we always label it as the audience for simplicity, for our reports. It's very simple. We know unambiguously that this is that ad set or that ad group for custom intent travel kits, okay? And then within that ad group, we have the 2 ads, right? And that's it. When we launch another campaign, all we need to change is one variable, and that is the key here. So the variable in this aspect would be the audience. We keep everything else the same, the campaign settings, our bidding strategy, our goal, our ads, right? So again, we're doing this from an campaign structure and audience testing perspective is focusing on just one variable at a time, okay? Now, if you have broad targeting on, if that's what you're going for, then it's gonna be a little different, right? You wanna test different ads at a time and you wanna keep the same broad targeting, no problem, right? But again, you wanna keep it simple. And that is the tip for the day here, okay? Around the campaign structure. Okay, and again, to finish it off, avoid the spaghetti testing, right? You don't wanna throw things and see what sticks, okay? That's not a strategy, guys, all right? You wanna test, be very, very deliberate, very intentional, okay, with what you're trying to test. 5 campaigns at $50 a day, 1 audience per campaign, 2 to 4 ads, and that's it. And then just read the data. Okay, and then the last part here is we're just gonna give you a bonus tip. We already gave you our structure. It's very simple. And we've talked about this last year. And again, this year, simplicity is key here. You don't want to change and do all these philosophies, right? You can test, go ahead and test different things if you have different ideas that may be fitting to your offer, to your needs, but we're giving you our approach, okay? Our campaign structure that has brought in results and it's still bringing in results to this day, okay? If you want to do an experiment isolating demographics per ad group, that's also one way that we've seen it. We've done it in the past. It's okay. It's not, in my opinion, in my experience, it's not the best, but it's something that you can definitely take into account is, so you have one campaign, one audience, and then maybe you have 5 different ad groups. Each ad group has all of the exclusions of, let's say, ages, right? You want to just target 25 to 35. That's one ad group, okay? And you label it as so, 25 to 35 male, right? The other ad group would be 35 to 44, right? The other ad group would be 45 to 55, right? Things like that. So this is one way that you can isolate, you can test kind of those demographics to see which one's bringing in results. We like to just, we have one demographic throughout the entire campaign and we start isolating or start pausing, we'll read the data, look at conversions, look at the CPCs, look at all the data that we need to look at and just pause accordingly, right? Like, we don't want to target 18 to 24, we'll pause that, or the 25s is giving us this. And then at some point we would just launch a campaign isolated with just that specific demographic, right? But we want to keep it a little broader at first. But again, those are options that you have. And that is it, guys. Thank you for watching today's video. Remember, keeping it simple with your campaign structure in 2024 is key. You have the spaghetti testing, you can do all that if you want, but our suggestion, our piece of advice, our professional advice is keep it simple, okay? We have the campaign structure for you. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn on your notifications when we drop some more YouTube ad knowledge or any media buying knowledge your way. We'll see you on the next one.